What's up, everybody? This is Fray bringing you a brand new audio, copyright 2007 WCReplays.com. God, how many times have I said that now? It's been a lot. Get this game paused at the 2-minute mark from Sister Ray's point of view. Sister Ray being me on Azeroth. For those of you that absolutely hate it when I do my own games, I apologize. I know they're full of mistakes, that sort of thing. However, I've gotten a lot of requests from people over PM and IM and that sort of thing to do some of my own games. A, because I know what I was thinking, and B, because they are of slightly lower quality. Anyway, hopefully you got this paused at the 2-minute mark, my point of view. You can keep the fog of war on or off, I really don't care. I'm going to get it unpaused in a second. I'll go ahead just before the game starts and talk about the basic build order that I'm using. It's a ghoul build. I've expressed my opinion that ghouls or fiends are about equally good against orc. I was in a ghoul mood today, that's why I'm going ghouls. Simple as that. The general idea is you go Crypt Altar with one Acolyte, then get your Ziggurat, then get your next Acolyte. It's pretty simple, really. And then I get a 6th one soon after, go scouting with him, and build a shop. The idea being I'm going to send my Death Knight out early while my ghouls are still harvesting wood, and I'm going to keep his either Farseer or Blade Master, whichever hero he starts with, from getting too much of an early start on creeping, because otherwise he's got the ability to reach level 3 before I do, and either level 3 Blade Master or Farseer can wreak holy hell on your Acolytes, and you don't want that to happen. So, we'll see how this game unfolds. Start the game at the 2-minute mark, and 3, 2, 1, unpause. By the way, I'll go ahead and spoil it for you now. This guy is a mass tower player, and I had a feeling that there will be at least some listeners that would very much like to see a replay of how to beat a mass tower player. For my part, my favorite way of doing it is just to stop their expansion. And you'll see that a little bit later on, and I'll explain it. Right now, let's go ahead and talk about the early game. What's going to happen is he's going to stride straight into my base and start chopping at Acolytes. I actually lose this first one. He probably shouldn't have gone down quite that quick. I'm not dealing with this. I actually attacked my Necropolis. I kind of spazzed out here, yeah. So anyway, if you see a Blade Master, if he walks straight into your base, first thing, and starts attacking Acolytes, first of all, get into Rubian Tower, bring your Death Knight back to your base, because he's not really going to be able to do anything better than chase the Blade Master off. It's not like you can go into his base and start making a mess. Right here, since my Nerubian Tower was out and he was still mucking around in my base, I went ahead and grabbed a Dust of Appearance. I was actually hoping I could get a kill on the guy, but often that you cannot get a kill on a Blade Master. But I will relate to you something that T-Rider told me later, because right now I need to talk about my creeping. I realized here that I actually didn't have enough lumber because I'd had my ghouls trying to chase his Blade Master off. That's why I grabbed 3 of them, sent them back to my base, etc. I shouldn't have let myself get short of lumber. I should have started my tier 2 quite a bit earlier here, but I'm basically trying to make up for that by creeping with fewer ghouls than I would normally use. The reason I went straight for like the 353 Knoll camp here, because I knew his Blade Master was very, very low on health and had used up all his mana. So that means basically that it's going to be a little while before he kind of gets all his stuff recovered back up. In fact, if you take the Fog of War off now, you can see he's kind of reaching back to the point where he can start harassing me again. So basically, the way T-Rider explained it to me, and I'm quoting these words almost straight out of his mouth, that if you respect the Blade Master and you come at the matchup with the attitude that, oh no, he's the Blade Master, he's going to own me, he's going to do the Windwalk, and he's going to mess me up and all this stuff, he will. However, if you just say, whenever I see him, I'm going to slap him around like the little bitch that he is, you will probably do a lot better. The reality is you're probably not going to get a kill on the guy, but Well, and in fact, I very, very nearly get a kill on him here. He gets away with 3 freaking hit points. How lucky is that? Give me a break. You know, I mean, this guy's not the best Blade Master user. A smarter player would not let his Blade Master get quite that close to death. But, you know, if you just deal with him when he shows up and try and, like, put some damage on him and don't set him up good situations. You know, when you're creeping and such, don't sit there and have, like, 2 ghouls, like, in the red. You know, if you're gonna let your ghouls get low, at least send them back to your base or coil them or something. Don't let him pick stuff off. But don't be afraid of him. Just realize that when he shows up, you can put damage on him. You may not be able to kill him, but as long as you make him run away, you're doing okay. Because that's going to, I mean, it's basically like other than like excuse me. I realize I have to back off here because he towered up. That was actually the first time in this game that I realized he was being a towering bitch. I should have... Well, no, it really didn't matter. But basically what I was trying to do there was to hopefully go in and get like some bestiary cancels with my ghouls, because as far as I knew, he may have still been creeping with his grunts. Now in this case, if you look back in my base, it's kind of a matter of knowing how much rope that you can give a Blade Master. And for a tower user, they're basically not going to have very good levels on their Blade Master. In fact, you can see he's level 1. That is why I was able to just kind of sit there and start up a tower and keep creeping with my Death Knight and just let like my Narub tower and like the 1 ghoul I had left in my base kind of hammer away at him and just sort of flee the acolytes around away from my mind. I mean, if that was a level 2 or a level 3 Blade Master, I probably would have had to, at the very least, I would have had to have staffed my DK back. By the way, something that just happened there, if you think that the Blade Master is about to windwalk, don't bother shooting a coil at him, because for whatever reason, the game decides to not give you any credit for hitting him with the coil. Basically, if he windwalks, the coil that you shot at him, unless you've got it detected, it's not going to deal any damage, and I think it also doesn't succeed in removing any like clarities or other healing effects from the Blade Master. So that's kind of something that I got bit by there. Anyway, for an opponent that is relying heavily on like early towers, one of the big advantages that you have against him in the early game is that you're going to be able to creep your hero up a lot faster than he has, because he has no units. All he's got is a hero generally, and maybe, you know, like 1 or 2 things. He spent all his money on towers, and those towers are not going to help him creep in the least. So basically all his experience is either going to have to come from nabbing your ghouls or from like just kind of solo creeping stuff with his Blade Master, which is not terribly efficient. Let's see, this stuff, nothing really fancy in the micro department back in my base. It's the same deal. He's kind of trying to harass me. I went ahead and got that spirit tower up the last time he harassed me, by the way. If your opponent is doing something where harassing is like he's built a bunch of towers and all he can do is kind of harass you, it certainly doesn't hurt to get like a little bit of extra towering in your base, because as it is, like from your creeping and stuff like that, you're already going to have like a superior army and superior heroes too. So why not just kind of nerf his harassment a little bit so that he can't prevent you from leveling your hero up. Basically, the deal is the Blade Master, as you know, is a very nukeable hero. He will probably get away when you try to kill him. However, every time he takes a whole bunch of damage, unless you're on a map with a fountain, which is why maps with fountains suck, unless you're on a map with a fountain, it's going to cost him money to recharge both his hit points and his mana. I think lesser clarity potions only restore like about 100 mana or something. They're not really that great. So basically, you just want to kind of chase him off and then get your heroes to higher levels than his, because if you are able to nuke a Blade Master, he's kind of worthless. I mean, like, yes, he can get away, but the only thing that the Blade Master has going for him is the fact that his melee attack